in a society that needs one another. And too often we forget that. We forget that we depend on one another, that we are each other's keeper, right? That we are our brother's keeper, that we are supposed to care for and love one another. And although clearly when our founding fathers put this document together, they didn't know how it was going to turn out. You know, there was still a war to fight. There's still an entire 250 years to get here. But we are here now, and I want you to think of yourselves in Philadelphia 250 years later as the framers of the next 250 years, just like our forefathers did. Like, you have in your capacity the role to define what America is about. And the people that come to this event care about that, why they're here at TED Democracy. They care about understanding how do we advance this beautiful experiment called America? How do we continue to grow this? And my argument is that without loving, depending, caring, listening to one another, we fail. So I want to articulate that. I want us to be the founders of this idea that we are supposed to care for one another, about one another, and be interdependent, which means I need you and you need me in order for both of us to be okay. That's what this is all about. So this is really a document. That's why there's no pictures. That's why it's black and white. That's why it has only words. It is a document, like our founding document. It is a declaration, and what you're asking people here to do is to declare their intention to do that, to be dependent, to care for one another. And all you need to do is be you, because more than anything, I am trying to model what the first group of volunteers here did, which is just to talk to a stranger about what you care about. And then we just begin to do that, just talk to one another, which is what you did this morning. We get it right. That's all it is. It's just about having that disposition. And all this art says is a catalyst for that conversation. And although I know that you love that it's remaining, and I do too, I wouldn't be painting it otherwise, to me the most important thing is that it happened. Because this project has two roles. One is the visual art piece, the actual messages that are being written, and the canvas and space behind. That's called visual art, right? That's the visual art component. But the other component of this art project is modeling the behavior, right? Modeling what democracy looks like. And that to me is the part that you're bringing here. And without you, it fails, right? So it's about you talking to others, and then hopefully this experience nurtures that kind of conversation in your faith community, in your job, in your neighborhood, right? Like across America, what you did to the other visitor, they do to their neighbor. And before you know it, we begin to grow this. And that is what this is about. It's about using this moment to declare our interdependence as a